I'll call the roll. I see that everyone is here except for the mayor, who has given his regrets of not being able to attend. I'll call this meeting to order, and the first item on the agenda is additions to the agenda. Are there any additions?
Yeah, I have some. Added to the agenda, please. Sorry. I'd like committee of the whole added to the agenda. Committee of the whole. CAO bylaw. I just have some inquiries about that. Council expenses, website that are posted on the website. Procedural bylaw. Oh, and I have that twice. And that's it. Oh, and I would like to add the Gibbons Taxpayers Coalition on there as well.
I don't believe you can add them tonight. According to what we have, they need to submit a written request to appear.
I'm putting it on the agenda.
Yes, and the earliest that they could come
I
would
didn't
be,
even specify that I was going to ask anything.
I'm not sure then what's the purpose of this.
Are you adverse to having the community speak or introduce themselves?
I'm not adverse to it, I just don't see any, they haven't notified us that they're actually going to do that.
I am notifying you.
I'm going to ask our expert on how that works.
I didn't say anything about.
No, but if somebody's going to speak tonight, then they would have had to.
Well, not necessarily, because it is in the procedural bylaw that I have the opportunity as a counselor to invite.
Yeah, you're right. According to the council procedural bylaw, you
Yeah.
do.
And so I can put it on the agenda, ask for the permission when it comes up on the agenda at that time.
Yep.
And then it's up to the chair to give permission or not.
As long as council accepts the amendments to the agenda, yep, no problem.
Okay, anything else? Could I have an emotion concerning the agenda, please?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the agenda as amended. Recorded, please.
Okay, having no further questions, I'll call the question. All those in favor of the amended agenda as presented? All those opposed? That motion is defeated because of a tie vote. I still need a motion to have an agenda accepted. Councillor Thishan.
Based on CAO Malley's email earlier, I think we also need to strike or postpone table 8.1 for the Metrics Group to do their presentation to the next meeting.
Okay. Any other questions? Did you made the motion to accept it with the exception
do
of
have a
8.1?
Sir, please.
Oh, go ahead.
Through the chair, I'd like, if I could, some clarification whether or not I can add items to the agenda that were previously voted against. Am I able to add and leave out ones? Do you know what I mean? Add them again?
Add your items back again. So
Yeah.
no, that motion was defeated.
Yeah.
Only a member of the prevailing party can bring that motion back. So
Right,
So the prevailing party would have been those
Yeah.
that voted against it.
right, but, so, because am I able to add them? There was only one thing that was objected.
No, pardon me, the entire agenda was voted
Yeah.
down.
Oh, I
Every-
see. Okay,
because
well,
it
then
was a single
I'll
motion.
make them for notices of motion, no problem.
So Councillor Thishan made the motion to accept the agenda as amended with dropping 8.1 because the metrics group cannot be here this week. Thank you. Okay, we'll call the question. All those in favor of the agenda as presented? Thank you, it's carried. Next, adoption of the minutes of the regular meeting of October 9th, 2024.
I'll make the motion to adopt the minutes.
Any questions concerning the minutes of October 9th? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Going forward, do you think that when there are follow-up or action items, that can be noted in the minutes as well? As opposed to, just saying, can we say what was accepted as information? Or follow-up date, something like that?
Technically speaking, council can only operate by motions. So if you want to see something come into the minutes or you're expecting information to come back to you,
Yeah.
it would be my suggestion that council makes a motion. Therefore, the motion is made, and then it would appear on the following agenda.
Okay, I will leave it as is and I will do some follow-up. No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? All those in favor of the minutes of October 9th? Carried, thank you. Next question is 7.1, accounts paid as of October 21, 24.
Tara, if you want to field any questions from council.
Need a motion, I believe, on the floor first.
Yeah.
Yeah, could I entertain a motion for accounts payable as of October 21?
I'll make the motion to accept accounts payable as of October 21st, 2024.
Any questions? Councillor Harris.
Thank you. Second page, almost halfway down for Brownlee, the council request for information for almost $2,700. Just, can I have clarification on that?
Tara, go ahead.
Council request for information. Unfortunately, I would have to look into that one further to know exactly what those requests were. I don't know them off the
Right.
top of my,
Okay.
Okay. I will inquire about that another day then. Second one, the Heartland Station, same page for Champagne Edition to the tune of $41,000. Can I ask what that is for?
yeah, Councillor Harris, so that is for the second phase of the fencing down in Heartland Station. The deposit on it, I believe. Curtis, can you confirm that?
Yes, that is correct.
And just add to that, that gets billed back to the developer.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's all I got for right now, thanks.
Any further questions? Okay, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Carried, thank you. 7.2, second quarter budget variance.
Good evening, Deputy Mayor Sandel and council. The purpose of this report is to present to council the second quarter budget variance for 2024 as at June 30th. Financial reports for January to June 2024 inclusive have been completed. To date, the town of Gibbons is above budget in revenues at 109.28% of expected due to the sale of the 4.5 acres, and the 2024 taxes have been levied, also below budget in the expenditures as well at 44.75% of budget. Recommendation of action is administration respectfully requests that council accepts the 2024 budget variance report as at June 30th, 2024 as information.
Could I have a motion, please? Councillor Barry.
I move that we accept the budget variance report as of June 30th, 2024.
Any questions? Yes, Councillor Harris.
Can I ask where Ms. Jeffries has been? Not that you don't do a fine job, just,
I don't know if that's kind of personal. She's just not here.
she's the Director of Corporate Services who would normally present the budget variance report. She hasn't been here for about 4 meetings, I think, and I just want to know why, because
Should I tell her about her kids?
your mic is on.
Okay, I will tell you. Pardon me, I'll let everybody else know. Her son committed suicide and left her with 2 boys.
Just like, if I can correct that, actually, no.
Oh, no?
No, her son passed away
Oh,
due to a medical emergency.
Yeah.
And so has taken over her 2 grandsons, and so she's dealing with personal matters, dealing with that. And so once she gets that sorted out, then she will be able to attend back to meetings.
Thank you.
Wasn't that in the summertime? I mean, she's been here since. I'm just,
The two boys are with her, and she has no babysitter because her husband is working in consort.
Yeah, there's no, any further explanation, it's where it's at.
And anyhow. Okay, where were we?
A reminder, council, to please turn off your mics if you're not speaking, because the feedback does go through to the live stream.
Okay, any further questions on the budget variance?
recorded vote, please.
Okay, call the question. All those in favor? All those opposed? Thank you. That's carried. 7.3 will be the third quarter budget variance. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The purpose of this report is to present to council the third quarter budget variance report for 2024 as of September 30th, 2024. Financial reports for January to September 2024 inclusive have been completed. To date, the town of Gibbons is above budget in revenues at 140.42% of expected due to the sale of the 4.5 acres, and the 2024 taxes have been levied. Also below budget in expenditures as well at 63.83% of budgeted. Administration respectfully requests that council accept the 2024 budget variance report as at September 30th, 2024 as information.
Thank you. Could I have a motion to that effect, please? Councillor Barry. Any questions on the third quarter variance?
I should make the motion prior to the questions. Okay.
Sorry, I thought you did make the motion, sorry.
I move that we accept the third quarter budget variance report as of September, how many days in September? September 30th, 2024.
Thank you. Any
Recorded,
questions? Pardon me?
Sorry, I thought you were going to call the question.
No, I believe Councillor Barry had a question, did you not?
Okay.
No,
Oh.
I was just reminding you that we needed a motion
Oh.
before questions were.
Thank you. Okay, any questions? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of the
Recorded, please, madam. Oh, sorry.
third quarter budget variance, pardon me, all in favor? Opposed? That's carried. As 8.1 has been removed, we'll move to 9.1 under old business, which is the follow-up items from the October 9th, 2024 agenda. It will be a verbal report. Thank you.
And with that, Deputy Mayor Sandal, there will also be some written information provided as supporting data for the report. Administration at the previous meeting on October 9th, 2024 had committed to providing an update on a number of items to council, not be through a motion, but because I agreed to do so. So number one was talked about the variance reports, which of course is they've just been on not just the second but the third as well. Accounts payable, there was a question regarding the proof of payment and supporting documentation regarding number company 1056875 Alberta Limited. Copies of the check and account balances of the company have been included in information in this report. In addition, there was a question regarding check number 202-42487, which, because it was not there and shown, it was actually a firefighter pay that had to be paid by check as the individual did not supply their banking info to the payroll coordinator. Of course, the documentation of that is provided in the report. Furthermore, there was a question regarding the work that Trinus Information Technologies does for the town, and administration committed to providing a scope of the work that was done and included in the packages a breakdown of the work that they do, but keeping in mind that they also provide that service to all of our facilities, not just the town office, but the Cultural Center, Arena, Curling Rink, Public Works, Fire Department, Gibbons Family Resource Center as well, and so that information is provided. Further, there was additional inquiry talking about the meeting with Sturgeon School trustees and the council. As you'll see in the package, his administration was able to have a conversation with the superintendent, Shauna Warren. And so there's two dates that are provided as options, Wednesday, November 6th or Wednesday, November 27th, and the times are there. So council just needs to provide administration with a time when they prefer. And so the times are included. So if you want to either do that now or provide that via email to myself, that would be terrific. In addition, there was a question regarding bylaw amendments, and there was a series of bylaw amendments, so I believe it was about 59 in total, is that they will be loaded up on our website in detail. So they will be providing a folder called bylaw amendments. So that should be on there probably starting tomorrow or Friday, depending on when Chris is able to return, as she was away on holidays. Another question that came up was in relation to the Momentum Fitness Club, and included in the information package that is provided is it has the motions that how the club was established, but also then how the direction on the operation. And the motions that were provided were back in October 11th, 2017, and the backup data is included in the package, where Councillor Harris moved that council adopt the business plan for the Momentum Fitness Center as presented and provide the upset amount of $500,000 net of GST for the startup funds to be funded by debenture via 2017 Community Enhancement Projects, borrowing by law MOG 1-1/17. And then motion 17-188, October 11, 2017, regular meeting at council. Councillor Harris moved that council approve the administration proceeding with the construction, equipment purchasing, and operation of the Momentum Fitness Club in accordance with the details of the budget included in the approved business plan, utilizing either town staff or contracted labor. In addition, as another verbal, one of the questions came up was in relation to the Pioneers and how that operation was going. And administration at that meeting had identified that we are in legal matters with them, and that is to the case, so we cannot comment any further on that. So Deputy Mayor Sandal, members of council, is the administration just looking to accept the report as information only?
Councillor Barry.
I move that we accept the report from CAO O'Malley as information.
Any questions? Councillor Harris.
Thank you for that. I do have a couple of questions with the information. Just out of curiosity, why wasn't this presented with the agenda?
Is Deputy Mayor Sandal and members of council, his administration was still waiting for feedback from other information. And so that's why I wanted to make it as complete as I could at the time.
Okay, so, I just, as, you know, as well as I could follow along with what the information, you know, you were saying here, you know, or referring to in the information that we just got, a couple of things. With regards to the Momentum Fitness Club, you note, the motions, but where's the documentation that, because it says, with details and budget included in the approved business plan utilizing either town staff or contracted labor. So can you point me to where that decision was made with choosing one of those two options?
In relation to the business plan, Deputy Mayor Sandal, members of council, I can certainly make available a copy of the business plan. That was in the agenda back in October 11, 2017. I can make sure that I provide that to everybody as well. I can load that online if you like.
Well, frankly, I think agendas should at least be, go back 10 years, but available, but you just made a very quick note or a point to draw attention to the fact that it was in this agenda package and that I had made the motion, but you neglected to put in there which option was chosen. Is that what I understand?
Deputy Mayor Sandal, members of council, Councillor Harris, the motion that was provided gave administration two options to choose from.
Okay. But my question initially, last meeting, was when did they become town employees? When was that decision made?
When we implemented the operation.
Right. And my point is you neglected to provide that in this package. But we'll carry on. I do have other questions, so does anybody else have? Because I can wait my turn.
Go ahead.
Okay. There were a couple of things. I did go through the recording of the last meeting, so I noted them down so they wouldn't be missed. Is there any follow-up with what is happening with the approval from Municipal Affairs?
Deputy Mayor Sandal, members of council, Councillor Harris is actually administration is still waiting to hear from the minister's office, and the minister will not be rendering any decision until the financial statements are actually adopted by council and provided to them as info.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. So any idea of when that's happening?
With that, Deputy Mayor Sandal, members of council, Councillor Harris is that I believe that we're administration, and when we get further into is that we'd be looking to actually have the financial statements at our next meeting.
Okay. My next note that I made was the council council pay policy. I can't ever say that darn word. You were to follow up and provide that with this at this meeting because I had asked about dry cleaning charges that were and other items like that were
I believe, Councillor Harris, if you like, is that I believe there was a copy that was provided or direction because you would ask in between is I believe in the council remuneration policy is, just give me a second here, L2015 is that it provides council. Just a sec. Under section 5A, they may charge against credit cards to a maximum of $75 per day for meals incidentals to an accrued total. Receipts must be submitted. If the charge is over the specified amount, the mayor or councillor must reimburse the town of Gibbons.
I had asked for a copy of that. I had emailed several times between yesterday and the previous meeting for a copy of that policy, and I have yet to receive it. So it's where? Actually, you told me it was on the website.
Yeah, I did. It is on the website.
It's in the handbook.
So there's a copy of the website. I'm not sure what you intend to pursue this for. Sorry, Councillor Barry.
I just wanted to remind everyone that that policy is in the handbook that each of us received when we were elected as council members.
Actually, it's not the same one that's in there. I looked.
Okay, let's continue on. This is not accomplishing anything. Do you have further questions?
Yes, I actually do.
Okay, please get to the point.
All right. There was also information that was provided in the agenda package pertaining to, I had a question regarding a motion that I had allegedly made December 14th, 2022, that granted approval of a development permit for Miles Davis and Davis Developments. And interestingly enough, it was provided in this package. So, oh, is it not here? It's online, I believe. Anyway, in that information, the reason why I was asking for it is because I didn't recall making that motion, and I had come in a couple of months ago to listen to the audio, and I brought 2 residents with me as witnesses, because again, I did not recall making that motion, and that motion was not on our audio recordings, nor was the motion for that I allegedly made to accept the minutes. The following meeting in January, that was not there, and I had also asked for the original draft that was allegedly or supposed to be added to the agenda or in the agenda package for the 14th of December. And I had been asking via email for that information from about end of August, and I have not received it, had not received it. And lo and behold, it's in our agenda package now. Can I have an explanation for that, please?
Are you denying that you actually made that motion?
Pardon me?
You're actually denying you made that motion?
I don't know. And if it's not on a recording and the report to council with the official draft of that motion is not there, I didn't make it. So it's not in the agenda package. I don't recall. It's not in the audio recordings that the town was responsible for keeping back at that time, which is the exact reason why I started recording the meetings myself. I had been asking for it since August, and lo and behold, it shows up today. I would like an explanation, please.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And Deputy Mayor Sandal, members of council, Councillor Harris, I believe that item is a separate one under 10.1 as a separate item there on its own. But I believe in relation to the minutes and such like that, because the way it goes back is actually the recorded minutes by video or audio are not the official minutes. And so they are actually the ones that are written and signed and endorsed by motion become the official minutes. And so that is what took place. And if you recollect the discussion and everything related to that and the minutes, because I did clarify with our legal counsel if we could provide copies of the development permit and that report, and we are allowed to do so. And that's why you have it provided to you. And it's actually in detail as per the motions that were there. So that's all the administration has to report on that.
Mr. O'Malley, I asked for the original draft.
Asked and answered.
Is that why, did you need that development permit approved at that time so that you could make changes to the offer to purchase shortly thereafter without telling council? That's what I'd like to know. I do have a recollection of that offer to purchase, the amended copy, Mr. O'Malley.
Deputy Mayor Sandal and members of council, if councillor recollects, is that the purchase agreement is actually an enclosed session agreement that is put there, and if actually anyone that wishes to, they could go through a FOIP request to get that, and they would be reviewed by lawyers, and then they would be redacted accordingly. And so those information and all those agreements were provided in closed session.
I'm not saying anything specific. My next question, you were also supposed to follow up with the information regarding the payment to the Riverside condos. I had said that back in February when it was first brought up, you had noted that it was $550,000 that came from reserves to pay them. And I mean, I can send you a link to the video that I took where you say otherwise.
Actually, if I could, is that I believe at that last meeting, I said if you can provide me with a copy of it, I certainly would stand corrected.
If I sent it, would you have played it?
I certainly would, absolutely.
Okay, well then,
I have no problem with that whatsoever.
all right. I'll put it on the next agenda then, and you can play it then.
Deputy Mayor Sandal, members of council, Councilor Harris, I'm more than happy, and I believe I said at the last meeting, if I said that, I certainly would stand corrected, and I certainly would admit it and take accountability for it.
Okay, could I just ask why you didn't send me the original report to council when I asked for it just going back to the development permit or the motion? Why didn't you send it before when I asked for it?
That is, okay, on that question, you're out of order on that. We have a motion on the floor. Please ask questions pertaining to that motion, not extraneous questions that have no value. So at this moment, I'm gonna call the question on 9.1. All those in favor?
Oh my goodness, can I have a recorded vote, please?
Okay, all those in favor of 9.1?
Can you remind me what the motion was?
The motion was just to accept the report as information.
Call the question. All those in favor? All those opposed? Thank you, it's carried. On to the next question, 10.1, the development process of the Heartland Station lands. Mr. O'Malley, please provide that information.
Deputy Mayor Sandal, members of council, is the Heartland Station request that was made as a request. Just to walk through it, is motion 22039 was made on February 29, 2022 at a regular meeting at council, where Councillor Sandal moved that council give first reading to bylaw PLU 1-22 or -22 amendment to bylaw PLU 8-06 to redistrict part of Southeast 35623W4, which was carried. At that same meeting, Councilor Harris moved that council set a public hearing to be set for March 23rd, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. On March 23rd, there was a public hearing that was held at 6:30 p.m. For the bylaw that it was been identified to redistrict from single-family large residential lots to direct control industrial district. And motion 22.082 during the regular meeting on March 23rd, 2022, regular meeting at council. Councillor Sandal moved that council give second reading to bylaw PLU 1-22, an amendment to bylaw PLU 8-06 to redistrict part of Southeast 35623W4 for a single-family large residential to direct control commercial industrial district. Motion 22.083 carried March 23rd, 2022. Councillor Harris moved to give council third reading to bylaw PLU 1-22, an amendment to bylaw PLU 8-06 to redistrict part of Southeast 35623W4 from single-family large lot residential to direct control commercial industrial district. And December 14th, Councillor Harris moved that council approve development permit 1244124-22 D0019, subject to the following conditions that are provided. I could go into detail, but it's about 8 of them if everyone wishes, or they're there and they've been published. Or to motion 23-002 on January 11th regular meeting at council. Councillor Harris moved to accept the minutes of the December 14th regular meeting at council as presented. Recommendation from administration is to accept a report as information as presented.
Thank you. Could I have a motion to accept that as information, please?
I'll make the motion to accept as information.
Council decision, okay. Any questions? Councillor Harris.
Thank you. However, what I asked at the last meeting was for a listing of all of the amendments to the bylaw, the local, or the land use bylaw, where we would be required to hold a public hearing. Not just these ones. I wasn't inquiring specifically just with these. I just wanted to know all of them.
Deputy Mayor Sandal, members of council, Councillor Harris, as I mentioned earlier during my previous, is that there's 29 amendments that were provided to land use bylaws that will be put in our website as soon as possible from once Chris is able to be back to the office. And so I believe hopefully by the end of this week. And I mentioned that earlier.
Please take into consideration that I am ill. There is a good chance it may not happen by the end of the week.
Oh, okay. But my question was to follow up with what bylaw amendments were made and when all of them, not just the 4.5 acre development there, and when the public hearings were held.
Deputy Mayor Sandal, members of council, Councillor Harris, we'll go through I believe it's 59, and we'll make sure that it's identified which ones required a public hearing, which ones.
I actually just asked from the 20th
Yep.
the 2020.
Okay, we'll finalize that. Okay.
Okay, when will that be done then? I mean, I understand that Ms. Pinot is ill, so that's fine. Can we have that for the next meeting?
Yes, we can.
Thank you.
Any further questions?
Can I get a motion so that it appears on the next agenda, please?
Sorry, Jay, go ahead.
I'll put forward the motion as information.
First vote, we have a motion on the floor right now to vote for acceptance of information. Then I'm going to require a motion for is it the 2020 land use bylaw amendments that required a public hearing? Am I correct?
Correct. So I am putting in for the,
There's a motion on the floor right now. Why don't we vote on that motion first, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you. The motion is to accept as information.
Okay, can I just, sorry, the motion is on the floor right now?
Accept as information.
Okay, before we vote, can I ask one more question that I just missed in
Okay.
the documentation?
Go ahead.
Pardon?
Sorry, yes, go ahead.
When I was going through the documentation that you did provide in the agenda, Mr. O'Malley, I noted that you had provided the minutes for the public hearing of the council that was held on March 23rd, 2022. And when you look at the council present that are listed, Mayor Deck, Councillor Sandal, myself, Jay Malante, Councillor Woodger, Councillor Lorraine Berry, and Councillor McCann were noted in here. So is that a typo, or I'm looking at it right now. On here, it lists.
What administration will do is I'll just double check to make sure it's accurate on that. Okay?
Yeah, okay, I would,
Yeah.
okay, recorded vote, please.
Okay, the motion is to accept 10.1 development process as information. All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you, is carried. Next on the agenda is.
Wait.
Pardon me, sorry, you're right, okay.
You wanted something brought forward at the next agenda. We're going to need a motion for that.
Oh, just for follow-up, wasn't, can I make a motion that administration bring forward a list of the amendments to the land use bylaw, and as well as the any public hearings that we've held since January of 2020 to
Got it.
current?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I just want to remind everyone that administration can only do investigations or present information at the request of council making a motion. Thank you. So we have a motion for that. Any further questions? Okay, I'll call the question. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. Okay, now on to the next one, 11.0, bylaws and policies. We're talking about the short-term borrowing bylaw. Could I have a motion?
Oh,
Tara.
Well, okay, you want to present information first? Go right ahead. Thank you.
the purpose of this report is to respectfully request that council considers adopting a municipal credit card borrowing bylaw, ALT 11-24. The use of corporate credit cards is considered a form of short-term borrowing for a municipality. Therefore, a short-term borrowing bylaw for the municipal credit cards is required. This bylaw needs to be adopted, establishing a credit card limit of $100,000 that can be utilized to complete operating expenditures for convenience purposes and where required by suppliers. Administration is requesting that council considers giving first reading to bylaw ALT 11-24 municipal credit card borrowing bylaw as it is required under the Municipal Government Act. Options available. 1, that council give first reading to bylaw ALT 11-24 short-term borrowing bylaw municipal credit cards in the amount of $100,000. 2, that council receive this report as information. Option 3, council to direct administration as how it would like to proceed. Recommendation, administration respectively requests that council considers the following. That council give first reading to bylaw ALT 11-24 short-term borrowing bylaw municipal credit cards in the amount of $100,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Could I have a motion to that effect, please? Councillor Berry.
I move that we give first reading to Alt 11-24 short-term borrowing bylaw municipal credit cards.
Thank you. Any questions? Councillor Harris.
Is this not repealing and replacing?
The previous bylaw expires at the end of the year.
Okay, but should it not note that we are repealing that bylaw and then,
No, because the bylaw dies
Yeah.
at the end of the year. So the bylaw ceases to exist. So it's not replacing, it's a new bylaw for the new year.
okay, well, okay, second question, why do we need $100,000 worth of credit cards out there?
Go ahead.
Deputy Mayor Sandal, members of council, is that amount has been set, I believe, for quite a number of years now, and it's been there from the overall operations from that. And so the number has been established and spread across the organization for those that are purchases to reduce the amount of cost of doing work orders and other invoicing and such like that. And so it's been that way, I believe, for 5 years, 10 years.
I believe since we put this in place, it's been 3 years, this bylaw,
one.
but prior to that, it could have been 100. I don't know the exact when it got set at 100. I've been doing the visas now for 3 years and it's been at $100,000. And to include, so we have a RBC commercial visa and that has an acred amount of 30,000 and that's in the names of the CAO, the assistant CAO and the executive assistant. And then the other 70, as it's listed here, is in the names of members of council, management staff, SALC staff, Momentum Fitness, the librarian, and the members of the community services.
Thank you. Any further questions?
Recorded vote, please.
Okay, I'll call the questions. First reading of short-term borrowing bylaw 11-24. All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you, that's carried. Next on the agenda is 12.0 staff reports.
With that, Laura, if you'd like to lead the way.
Good evening, Deputy Mayor Sandal and members of council. It's my pleasure to be filling in for Stephanie Peters tonight. We've been very busy in community services, are at the GFRC, at the Family Resource Center, the Food Bank, and the Youth Center. All are Been very busy. We have a full schedule of events and programs that are coming up and that are available online and through the newsletter. Hometown Weekend is a month away now. I checked before I left the office today, and there was only 4 tickets available online for the Seniors Almost Christmas Dinner. So we sell 200 tickets, and it's sold out in record time this year. So there was 4 tickets available online for that event, so we're very excited about that. We have a full range of events and an increased number of community partners helping us this year, which is telling us that this Hometown Weekend has really become a community event, and we're very excited about that. So everything is listed in the monthly newsletter. The November newsletter will be coming out by Friday this week with all the events that are happening in the month of November.
Tara.
Good evening, Deputy Mayor Sandal and Council. In Corporate Services, we are reviewing the 2025 town insurance renewals. Tax enforcements are ongoing and working on the 2025 operating budget.
Louise.
Good evening, Deputy Mayor Sandal, members of council. The mayor's lunch last Friday was very successful with about 60 people there. So it was a great turnout. I'm looking at doing another business breakfast probably early December, which will be the last one I'm doing because I am retiring at the end of the year. That's all.
Curtis.
Good evening, Deputy Mayor Sandell, members of council, Public Works. For the past little bit here, seasonal equipment changeover and water meter changeouts are ongoing. The tree planting for the year is now complete with a total of 542 trees planted this year alone. In the last 2 years, we've planted 780. Fall trail resurfacing projects now complete under the Trans-Canada Trail Grant. Fall fire hydrants are all now winterized, ready for the winter season. The community board sign and pickleball steps installation was expected on October 23rd, and I'm happy to say that those are both complete now, with the exception of the concrete work going on at the community board sign.
Thank you. Eric for Fire Department.
Deputy Mayor Sandell, members of council. So the membership's still at 28. We have 2 new babies to announce. One of our firefighters was on LOA. She had a little girl. And we actually went to one of our department's houses, and their wife had a baby born at home, and we ended up going there. So it's quite interesting. So that's 2 new babies. The calls, town calls are 131, and county calls 162 because we just had one. They had lots of people, so I didn't go. Pump 6 is back now. It came back today. It was down for a bit of stuff on warranty work, and I was not happy with the paint job, and they really fixed it up because before it came back, they seen a smudge and took it back over and got it done again. So it's back, ready to go. Under projects, Heartland Station, Loblaws is expected to open the end of November. The commercial retail unit is expected to open January, February 2025. So far in there, we have a daycare, a barberito, and a cannabis store. So that's my report.
Thanks. Deputy Mayor Sandal, members of council. Administration's also been working with Sturgeon School Division and moving forward with the planning to get the project. I believe that they're going to be unveiling a communication protocol in relation with the citizens of Gibbons to talk about the school opportunity that we're working on, and the goal is to continue the planning to get to a stage where they may be able to have the site service next year, with hopes that they would actually be able to be in the ground by the end of next year for some of the site prep, and with the ability to have the new school confirmed to be able to move forward with the full capital expenditures with that and being able to work with that. Administration's also been working with a couple of large companies that are considering coming to Gibbons with some very extensive job opportunities. In fact, one of them, the operation takes about 320 acres, so they'll be in conversation with a couple of the nearby landowners, in addition to another large-scale firm that associates with some of the rail services that are out there. And so once more information of that is available, that it will be shared with council and the public.
Okay, could I have a motion to accept that as information, please? Thank you, Councillor Malenti. I'm gonna get that right yet.
That's okay.
Malenti.
Put
I'll
forward
call
the
you
motion.
Jay, how's that?
I'll put forward the motion to accept as information. Thank you.
All those in favor?
Actually, if
Oh,
we can
sorry,
ask
go
questions.
ahead.
I suppose I'm gonna ask this now because there was, this was just handed to me a short while ago. Through the chair, I'd like to ask the CAO, regarding the council policy, pay, council pay. This is not the one that we adhere to right now.
If I could, Deputy Mayor Sandal and members of council, the only addition that I believe that was made was actually the pay scheme to adapt with the province. And that will be provided as an update as well, and it's been provided in a previous report. But we'll make sure that everything is consolidated. The rest of the terms stayed the same.
No, actually, the mayor does not get $1,600 a month. We do not get $1,000 a month. We do not put in for any per diems or honorariums anymore.
As I mentioned, is the only change that would, like I said, that would be updated would be the remuneration actually schedule in relation to per diems. The rest of the terms of the bylaw stay the same. So, and that was the amended change, so that'll be updated.
Well, actually, if you read this entire document, it's all over the place because, and it's unfortunate that you just didn't pass it to me when I asked for it, but, because then I wouldn't have to take everybody's time up now, but, it says, I mean, there are multiple things that are not how it works right now. And for example, I mean, this says that it was reviewed March 25th, 2020. Am I bothering you, Councillor Sandal?
No, you're asking questions that wander all over the world. Please submit a written request for the questions you have that we can have it answered at the next meeting if you wish.
Well, Councillor Sandal, contrary to what you like to tell the community, I don't have all the answers. And when I do submit email requests for information, they're either ignored or not provided in its entirety, or they're false. So when would you like me to request the information?
I'll respond to that in a way that I don't respond. We can't respond to any of your questions due to legal information from the lawyer in the fact that you have sued the town and therefore
Yeah.
we're not able to
I am
comment
suing the
on
town.
anything.
Yes, everybody in this room knows. I've made it very aware.
And we're
So,
told by the lawyers
Yeah.
not to respond in ways that would lead to a discussion and a problems later. Legally.
So you have, I have been sanctioned until the end of the term for another year. I don't get information regarding all other council happenings, and I'm not allowed to ask questions about our pay policies. Is that what I understand?
No, all I ask is you submit them in writing, that's all. Because right now, we're not able to, in order for you to do that, we need a motion requesting that the administration staff provide you with those answers.
I have made that motion repeatedly, and administration had committed to.
Well, right now, the motion on the floor is to accept the staff reports as information.
I apologize to all of you folks here. I'm trying. I'm working on behalf of you.
Okay. next
Election time
question.
is in 1 year. That's all I'm going to say. Recorded vote, please.
Okay, we accept the staff or administration report is presented for information. Thank you. I'll call the question. All those in favor? Okay, opposed? Motion's carried. Committee reports. We'll start with Councillor Masition.
On October 10th, I attended with the mayor, Rose Ridge Waste Commission meeting, which was really cool, actually. They did an introductory tour of the new facilities on the property that should be, I think the ground opening was yesterday. Some really, really good technology there and some really good changes that are going on at the landfill. And then I also attended the mayor's lunch on October 18th.
None to report this round.
Councilor Berry.
On October 18th, I attended the mayor's luncheon and enjoyed it very much. It was well attended, and I thought the speakers did a good job. On October the 20th, I attended the Rose Ridge grand reopening, and I confirm everything Dale said. The improvements at the Rose Ridge waste management facility, that was emphasized a lot. It is no longer a dump. It is a waste management facility, and the improvements are quite impressive. So if you have a chance, you should go out there and have a look. And last night I attended our local library board meeting, and once again kudos to our board. It is very active and enthusiastic. The most recent activities revolve around the Rural Mental Health Initiative. The lady in our area who is responsible for that initiative is attending our board meetings, and we have been able to access a grant in excess of $5,000 to provide extra supplies for various programs to help with advertising, and I can't remember what the other one was, but in any case, it's been very helpful to our staff in providing the programming that they would like to provide. So that's my report.
Councilor Kozak.
As per my sanctions from a harassment
Sorry,
complaint
I asked
that-
for Councilor Kozak.
Yes, but you can't skip me.
I didn't. I started at that end, working this way.
Oh, I see. Okay.
October 18th, the mayor's lunch, and October 20th, the Rose Ridge reopening.
Councilor Harris.
As per my sanctions from a harassment complaint stemming from two senior town employees and an investigation that cost the town $42,000, I have been sanctioned and I'm not able to attend any town business between now and the end of the term, October of 2025.
Thank you for your eloquent response. Okay, for myself, September 19th, I went to the Alberta Industrial Heartland Convention. September 23rd, the Water Commission meeting. September 25th, the AB Muties Convention. October 4th was Edmonton Global. October 5th was another Water Commission meeting. Water Commission Convention, where I went to look into new piping for the Water Commission in this area. You probably know that in Calgary they have a certain type of water lines that are breaking up. Well, the local Water Commission here in the Northeast has 9 kilometers of the same pipes. We have to do an investigation to see how we're going to ensure that it doesn't break. And if it does, how we're going to prevent it and work through what's going on. So I went down there to find out that the best information we have right now is that we line it with a plastic liner, which they push down the pipe. The estimated cost is $29 million, so we are working on building a reserve to cover that. October 18th was the mayor's lunch. October 20th was the grand reopening of Rose Ridge, as Councilor Berry said. And October 21st was another Water Commission meeting for this area, again, trying to deal with the water lines in the area. Thank you. I'll entertain a motion for acceptance as information.
I'll make the motion to accept this information.
Thank you. All those in favor? Carried. Thank you. I'll move to adjourn. Thank you.